Hi everyone, so we are back for another workout today. So today we're going to be really focusing on the lower body, on the legs, on the buttocks, trying to lift that, get that nice and pert. We want to work these big strong muscles here and get them nice and toned so that we can burn lots more calories. So I'm going to move through all of these exercises and I'm going to show you different types of resistance that you can use. I'm obviously going to use chair, as I said I would, to show how you can use that for balance and various other things for people with bad backs. Don't forget, you need your water in case you get very thirsty if you're not used to exercising. Also, for those of you with breathing difficulties, for my fellow Sarkies, if you've got inhalers, make sure that you've got those to hand in case you feel a little out of breath. So we're going to start with a squat position. Now you'll notice that I've got trainers on. I would recommend that you do not do these exercises barefooted. Particularly, I know some people have got scoliosis, arthritis and things like that. You want a nice strong base, so I would recommend trainers. Get yourself a mat if you're working on a harder floor or on a rug. You might want to use a cushion as well for when you're in lying down positions, if you can do those. So we're going to start with a squat position. Now the squat is also a nice little bit of a cardio as well if you're doing it at a decent pace. Today we're going to take it nice and slow and controlled. So the squat movement we need to get right before we actually start doing anything else. So when we squat, and I'm going to go sideways to show you how to do this, it's almost like, and I have to describe this, the way that we sit on a toilet. So we're going to go back, we're going to pull our stomachs in, and we're going to sit down. Now you'll notice that in that movement, although my knees went up and down, my position didn't really change. We do not want the knees to come over the toes like this. We need to keep the heels on the floor, dig in, and we need to make sure that those knees are tucked back. The way that I like to do this is when I go down, I put my elbows on my knees and I see where my fingers are, and I can see there that they are not in front of my toes. Because once we do this, we're actually taking a lot of the resistance out of the leg. So we're going to do a few just to check the position. We're going to go down, push right back, look forward. I'm going to come back up. We're going to go down. Now I like to put my hands like this. I like to keep a nice bit of stability. Now for those of you who haven't done squats before, you can sit shallow. If you've done these before and you're feeling a little bit stronger, you can go deep into the squat. Okay? Now I would recommend that we do 10 reps of these and that we do 3 sets of these. That is at a maximum. Okay? I'm going to take it just for 5 and then I'm going to show you how we can add resistance and also how we can add some stability for those of you who might find this position a little bit more difficult. So we're going to go down, nice and slowly. 1, 2, I'm going to come back to the front, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, if you need some stability, I've just got a dining chair here. We're just going to put that there, and there's one of 2 ways you can do it. You can either just have it to the side of you and hold on with one hand, or you can have the chair like that and hold on properly with 2 hands and squat down like that to give you a little bit more stability. If you're at a more advanced level and you want to add weights, you can use hand dumbbells if you've got them. You can use cans of food, you can use small bottles of water, and when you squat down, you hold those in your hand and go down. The other thing that I use is a barbell. Now, if you've got one of these at home, I'm presuming that you already know how to use it. So for our squats, we would need to take that onto our shoulders. We're going to take that into that position, push it up onto our shoulders, Rest it nicely, just on the shoulder blades there, and we're going to take it down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now at this point, some of you will be feeling out of breath. I actually am, so I don't want anybody watching this thinking, oh, I can't do that and look how easy she does it. I'm actually out of breath because for those of us with pulmonary sarcoidosis, we only have to do a little bit of movement and we're literally heavy breathing as I am now. So if you do feel a little out of breath at this point, that's absolutely fine and perfectly normal with our condition. In my body, I feel absolutely fine, and most of you will. Probably if you haven't exercised before, tomorrow you might be a little achy. Okay? So the next thing that I'm going to do is a lunge. Now there are two types of lunges. We can go forward and we take the knee down. And we go back. Or we can go backwards with our lunge and we can take the knee down. Now, if you're advanced at doing exercise and you want to do a back lunge, that's great, but we're going to focus on a forward lunge. I'm going to use the chair for this, okay, so we can hold on for stability, and I'm going to do 5 on each leg. I'm just going to demonstrate one leg. So we're going to take a step forward, and we're going to leave, I don't know, about 30 centimetres in between, maybe 1.5 of your own foot size, or 2 maybe. And we're going to drop this back knee towards the floor. Now you want to try and keep as upright as you can. Pull your stomach in. With every exercise that you do, you pull your stomach in. Now the further out you put your legs, some people feel more unbalanced, okay? So you need to find your optimum point at this point, particularly if it's the first time you're really doing these kinds of exercises. So we're going to go down, keeping tall, 90 degrees on this leg, down to the floor. Okay, and we'll do 5 of those. 2, 3, pull that stomach in, try and keep upright. 4, 5. You can also do these holding onto the chair with it in front of you. You need to move that weight slightly back, and that would be down like that. 2, can't count, 3, 4, 5. Obviously the stronger you get, the further down you're going to be able to go, further apart your legs can go. So that's your lunge. So for the next exercise you'll need to be seated. If you have a resistance band, then you can put your resistance band around here. And this exercise we're going to be working, start nice sides of the buttocks here. And we're literally nice and slowly and controlled. We're going to put our feet together, sit upright. We're going to bring the knees together. And we're slowly going to take them down. Now, you might think, well, that's not going to do anything, but I can actually already feel this on my inner and outer thigh. If you have a resistance band, obviously that's going to be a little tougher for you, but that's something you can progress to. So these are slightly easier than what we've been doing. So we're going to do 10 of these, nice and slowly. Just want you to know that I'm actually out of breath, okay? So I don't want you to feel like it's just you already sweating, and this is how our sarcoidosis gets us and our fatigue. Okay, so we're going to do 3 sets of 10 of those exercises if we can manage it. If not, we're just going to work up to what we can do. Okay, so very ungainly. Going to get back up. And we're going to go in for some more squats again. Okay, so nice and slowly, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, notice my form, leaning slightly forward. Look where my knees are. Feet shoulder width apart, try and keep them pointed forward rather than in this fashion, so that the knees are facing forward. Then not over my toes, and down again. Now if you want to make this a little bit harder, if you are used to exercise, when you get to this point, we're going to pulse for 5. So small movements on the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you'll feel a real burn there. Okay, so one last exercise, and I'm going to turn sideways to show you this before I do it in front of the camera. So we're going to go on our hands and knees, and we're going to try and get a nice tabletop shape at the back, with legs the same width apart as our shoulders, nice strong hands, and we're going to lift our leg so it's hopefully at 90 degrees. Keep a flat foot, and we're going to lift up. Small movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now some people will bring this right down to here and come right back up. If you want to do that, that's fine. I prefer to keep it smaller movements at the top. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to do that front waist to the camera on the other leg. So nice, secure position there. Knees shoulder width apart, hands shoulder width apart. Going to lift the other leg. Always make sure that you do both sides for balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we're aiming for there is 10 on each leg and 3 sets of 10. Okay? Now if you can't get on the floor like that, the other thing that we can do, we bring our chair in, is to just hold onto our chair and do some kickbacks. So 1, trying to maintain an upright posture. 3, 4, 5, and you should really feel that coming in down there. And the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is our routine for legs for the moment. So a few exercises there that will challenge a lot of you. You can up your rep rate and your set rate if you want to, and also add some resistance where you can, so that such as weights, or as I said, cans or resistance bands if you've got them. Still out of breath here, guys, so I hope that this is giving you some comfort. When we see all these shiny videos and we can't keep up, I am actually out of breath. So yes, also I might appear a little bit wonky. I do have a scoliosis, so sometimes my exercises can look a little bit unbalanced. One of my legs is just short of 2 centimetres lower than the other. Okay, so in that case, if you have something like that, you need to make sure that you have got a lift in whatever shoes or trainers that you're using. Definitely do not do this barefoot if you have any kind of scoliosis or any kind of pelvis tilt. Otherwise you're going to find that you're going to end up misaligned because you're overworking one side and the other, which is what I did before I realised that I had scoliosis. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that helped. So just to run through that again, all exercises need to be 10 reps, so that's doing it 10 times for 3 sets, so 30 altogether. Now some of you obviously will not be able to manage that. That's what we're aiming for. So for the about 7 days, if you do this routine every other day, then you should be able to work up your reps. If you feel like that's not enough, you can add reps. If you can easily do 10 reps, 3 sets. Add some weight, add some resistance, get some resistance bands. If you want any recommendations, please drop a comment below, or hop onto my Facebook group and I can give you some recommendations there. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss when any of the videos drop, and I'll see you next time for arms routine.